In the land of India, there was a prosperous Raja who was blessed with 7 sons. He treated them all equally, for he did not want any of them to become envious of each other. However, as time passed, the 7 sons came of age, and the Raja was faced with a conundrum. He needed to find 7 brides for his sons, but they all had to be identical in every way. The Raja sent his emissaries to far-off lands to seek out the perfect maidens, but despite their best efforts, they could not find 7 girls who were alike in every manner. They found maidens who were beautiful, talented, and intelligent, but no 2 were identical. One day, the eldest and wisest of the Raja's emissaries approached his master and said, "Your Highness, we have searched far and wide, but we have not found 7 identical maidens. Therefore, the only solution to this problem is to leave it to fate." The Raja was intrigued by this proposal and asked his emissary to explain further. "Each of your sons must take their bows and arrows and shoot them from the top of the tallest tower in the kingdom," the emissary said. "The maiden who lives closest to where each arrow falls shall become the bride of the prince who shot it. Each prince must abide by the result." The Raja agreed to this plan, and his sons also gave their assent. The 7 princes climbed to the top of the tallest tower, took aim with their bows and arrows, and shot them into the distance. The first 6 princes had good fortune, for their arrows found them charming and beautiful brides. However, the youngest prince's arrow flew far beyond the city walls and disappeared into a dense jungle. After a long search, the arrow was discovered lodged in the branches of an old banyan tree, with a monkey sitting next to it. The Raja was disheartened that his youngest son had seemingly been denied a bride, but the prince refused to break his vow. He decided to adopt the monkey and named her Rani, which means queen. In the following weeks, the palaces of the other 6 princes were filled with feasting and celebration, as they celebrated their marriages with dances, banquets, and fireworks. The Raja, however, remained saddened by his youngest son's fate, but he respected his son's decision to honor his vow. As the youngest prince sat in his palace with a heavy heart, his faithful pet monkey Rani climbed onto his knee, as she often did when she sensed his sadness. "What can I do?" he asked her. "I would like to entertain my father as my other brothers have done, but how can I? I have no wife. What shall I do, little Rani?" To his great surprise, the little monkey replied, "Do not worry, master." With these words, she scampered away and returned a few moments later, clutching a piece of broken china in her tiny hand. On the back of the china, there were written some words, instructing him to throw it into the hollow of a nearby banyan tree. The following morning, the prince set out to find the tree and threw the piece of china inside. To his amazement, a beautiful girl appeared in the hollow and beckoned him to follow her. As he followed her into the dark, twisting tunnel, he found himself in a beautiful garden, where he fell in love with the most beautiful maiden he had ever seen. The maiden instructed the prince to send invitations to his celebration feast, and to do only as she said. The prince returned home and followed her instructions, and the palace was transformed into a place of unparalleled beauty. When the prince's guests arrived, they were astounded by the lavish style in which they were entertained, but the prince was worried. All the guests assumed that the celebration was for his wedding, but he had no bride to present to them. He slipped away to find Rani, hoping for a solution. When he found the monkey, he was surprised to find that she had been transformed into the beautiful lady he had met in the garden. "You wanted a bride," she said, "so here I am." The prince was overjoyed and embraced her, but he wondered where Rani had gone. The lovely maiden then revealed to the prince that she had been the monkey all along, and that she had transformed herself to test his faithfulness. The prince had passed the test, and was rewarded with the love of the most beautiful girl in the land. The prince introduced his bride to his guests, but he kept the secret of the monkey princess to himself. From that day on, the prince and his lovely bride lived happily ever after, and Rani was never seen again.